What is up, everyone? Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. It seems like Plarium continues to tease us, and seems like we are getting a new free mythical champion, right? The reason why I'm saying free is because we all know it's very, very hard to put our hand on these champions. Now, they've actually teased something related to the new content, the new clan boss. Plus, of course, we actually have a couple of different things that they have been released today, including the ultimate form for the new clan boss. Now, I really think that this new clan boss will be released next week, guys. Why? Because that's when I'm away, and usually all of the big updates come when I'm away. So if I'm not doing a lot of videos early on, guys, know that it's not because I don't want to, it's just because I'll be in Romania, basically. Either way, maybe the patch won't happen next week, but I really think it will be next week. The Great Void. Now, by the looks of it, we all know that most likely it's going to be a Chimera. Not really sure exactly how you're pronouncing that word without actually butchering it. So it's going to have multiple forms. Now, they've teased quite a few of them forms in different ways, right? They released the very first form to all of the clan leaders in the game. Then the second one was released to content creators. The third one was just released to the public. And the fourth one was released today on Reddit. So we're going to have a look at that as well. Plus the new teaser, okay? So let's start with the new teaser, actually. And that should be right here. Let me just put a bit of volume as well. Seems like we have some volume. So let's crack on with it. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, that's not Galatir. For a second, I thought that was Galatir, but it's not. Oh my god, look at Arbiter just smacking Marichka. Yeah, I won't play the music from the clip because I'm gonna get a copy strike. The new mythical champion, guys. There you go. Most likely 99.99%. This is going to be our main reward for defeating the new clan boss. Most likely we're going to collect fragments as usual. So far we had 2 free mythicals. Mikage as a fusion, right? Which is a pretty long grind. Then we had Carnage from the Curse City. Again, a very long grind. But I know a lot of free-to-play players that actually got them both. And this will be the third one, okay? Most likely it's going to be a Knight Revenant. And the reason why I'm saying it is because he looks like it, 1. And 2, they are the ones that actually unleashed this evil, right? The new clan boss. The design looks pretty badass. Now, from the side, if you're looking at the face, looks a bit like Galatir Star Sage. Till you're actually paying more attention and you see that it's actually not him. Now, we don't know the kit yet, guys. We don't know what to expect. But I really think that it's going to drop in fragments, right? In a very similar way, like Mitrala, for example, from the Hydra clan boss. You guys know how it is. You collect your chest and you have a chance to get fragments from here. Now, because I've already collected her, I'm not able to see how many fragments, etc. we're getting. But I think it was in between 1 and something, right? Per chest. 1 to 3, 1 to 5, maybe. If I remember it correctly. I've got her ages ago, so I don't really remember. The new clan boss will have very similar difficulties with the regular clan boss. So while the clan boss looks absolutely insane, okay, very complex, very difficult, considering that we're gonna have tons of different difficulties, I would expect that the easy difficulty will be basically something that the majority of the players that are in mid-game, end-game will be able to basically complete. I'm not expecting new players to be able to just dive into the game and head into the new clan boss and absolutely smash it, because they still have to go through the Demon Lord, they still have to go through the Hydra, which is a pain at the moment, and then the bigger pain, which is the Great Void. But we're going to have difficulty starting from easy all the way to Ultra Nightmare, right? And if it's going to be something similar with the actual clan boss, and we're going to get the chest for every single difficulty, etc., it should be something that every single player in the game will be able to basically collect. It might take longer if you're defeating the lower difficulties rather than the higher difficulties. Now, one thing to keep in mind as well, We do not know if the new clan boss will be a daily rotation, a weekly rotation, a 2 weeks rotation. No idea whatsoever, because they haven't really mentioned that, and I'm trying to take some information related to this, but I'm not being very successful at it. They're really keeping it a secret for the moment. As I mentioned, the new Ultimate form has been released as well, guys. So that's the new Mythical. We might come back to it in just a second. So right here, this is the Lion form. I think we covered this in a different video. And then we have the Ultimate form that was posted on Reddit today. So by the looks of it, the boss will have 4 different forms as a Mythical boss, right? And one of them is going to be the Ram, one the Viper, one the Lion, right? Chimera, Chimera. Then you have this Ultimate form, which I guess it can be something different. We don't really know exactly what. Maybe it's going to be a dragon. Maybe it's going to be something else. Or maybe it will be just a different form without having to be a different mythical beast, right? So with the A1, AoE attack places a provoke debuff for 1 turn. It's not a chance he will place the provoke. So honestly, having protected block debuffs on your team is the most important thing that you need versus this boss. The ultimate most important thing. So Latrian as a champion, I think he's going to be insane for this boss. The main reason why I'm saying it is because he's the only champion in the game that can have all of his buffs protected versus bosses, right? So clans, you're getting the block debuffs buff on all allies, protected if he's a boss. Then you're getting increased defense, you're getting shield, protected if he's a boss. You have a speed aura. This is for dungeons. It's not going to work in the clan boss. And the passive, you're getting a bit of turn meter and stuff like that. But overall, either you're running 9-piece protections and you're gambling, right? Because you don't know if you're going to have the right buffs protected. Either you're running this bad boy, which seems to be the solution to a lot of the problems that the new boss will introduce, basically. Then with the A2, attacks all enemies again. The damage inflicted by this skill increases by 10% for each debuff on the new clan boss. Also places an increased speed buff on the new clan boss for 2 turns. So the more debuffs, the more damage he's going to deal, and he's going to gain increased speed. Plus, I forgot to mention that he has a 30% chance to land increased speed debuff on all enemies for 2 turns with the A1. With the A3, attacks all enemies. Before attacking, removes all buffs from all enemies. There you go, protected buffs are important. The damage inflicted by this skill increases by 10% for each buff removed. So you 100% want to have 9-piece protections on all of the champions that buff. No questions asked, because you want to increase your chance to have protected buffs for every single one of them. If this boss gets to remove your buffs, not only that he's going to increase his damage, but each one of the other forms are just crazy, okay? Forget about tuning a team like in the regular clan boss, okay? Because in the regular clan boss, you can just go in, okay, the clan boss can stun, can put decreased speed, easy peasy. We're going to deal with that without a problem. He doesn't drop turn meter, he doesn't put fear or any of those crazy things. Pretty straightforward. The Hydra, on the other hand, it became more challenging, right? At the beginning, it was very hard to make full auto teams. We had to manual pretty much for the first couple of months to really get that sweet damage on. But then slowly we developed auto teams. And even today, you can run auto teams without a problem. You're trying to basically counter all of the RNG that Hydra brings. This new boss is going to be on a different level, okay? It has so many RNG mechanics that is going to blow our mind off, okay? And I have nothing against challenging content whatsoever. Hell, I don't really mind manualing some of this content as long as it's not something to do every single day, right? We're gonna see. We're gonna see what we can expect, and it will be very important again to probably kill the boss to get a double chest. So you want to try and squeeze as much damage as possible, especially if your clan is not able to put in big numbers. You will have to basically carry some of your members, and I'm not talking just with you directly, just in general as a community. A lot of us will have to go the extra mile to push in more damage to ensure that we're killing the boss, and it will be pretty challenging. Then, if we are going over to the Unholy Metamorph, transforms the new clan boss into either its ram, lion, or viper form. Also removes all buffs and debuffs from the new clan boss. Now, this one right here confirms one of the things that we were kind of like trying to understand. How are we fighting this boss? Are we fighting all of the 3 forms at the same time, or what's the whole deal with it? And by the looks of it, it clearly seems that we are actually fighting this boss form by form, and he can just metamorph from the lion to the viper, from the viper to the lion, or to its ultimate form, right? I'm not sure if it's going to be a bit of an RNG, or it's going to be a pattern that the boss is going to follow. Let's just say it starts lion, then it goes to viper, then it goes to ram, then to the ultimate form, or that's going to be RNG and he's going to pick whatever the heck he wants, right? We don't know that yet, but we know, based on this text right here, that it will only be one of the forms, not all of them at the same time, like we're fighting the Hydra, basically, right? Then, we have another passive, which receives 10% less damage for each enemy with no buffs, stacking up to 50%. So you definitely want to have buffs, protected buffs again. I'm gonna repeat that. Also, receives 50% less damage from enemies under provoke debuffs. So immunity is gonna be the king right here. For every 3 trials completed, the new clan boss ultimate form will receive the following bonus effect and stat boosts. 1 to 3 trials ignores unkillable, plus 5% attack. 4 to 6 trials ignores block damage, and gets crit damage. 7 to 9 trials ignores defense, 25%, and gains crit rate, 5%. Let me just increase a bit this, sorry guys. Then, 10 to 12 trials ignores damage reduction from anything except buffs and debuffs. So I assume passives and other things like that. Then 13 to 15 ignores ally protection, and he gains more crit damage, plus more attack from the previous one. Then 16 to 18 ignores 50% of the target's defense. Now I'm curious if this is just additive to the 25, which will mean a total of 75% ignore defense, most likely. 19 to 21 ignores strengthen. 22 to 24 ignores shield, which clearly shows you that the biggest ally will be a shield buff, because that's the thing that he will ignore, but only after a lot of trials. Now, I would assume a trial means a full cycle swap. A trial means going from ram to viper to lion and then to ultimate form. That's a trial. But I might be wrong on it, right? Is a trial a cycle? Who knows exactly what they mean with that? That's what I'm understanding out of it. And then, of course, he has this passive where he's immune to pretty much everything, including True Fear on this one. Also immune to HP exchange effects, destroys max HP effects, thermometer reduction, etc. Incoming damage inflicted by skills that scale based on the new clan boss's max HP cannot exceed 100k on easy difficulty, going all the way to 200k on ultra nightmare difficulty. Which means that enemy max HP champions will really not be that amazing, right? And considering how many mechanics this boss that will basically ignore tons of different things that we're doing, damage reduction, etc., I feel like even the raw damage dealers will be in pain. So talking about that quickly, I do want to give you guys a massive advice. If you are playing live arena, do not invest any of your medals in anything at the moment. Save every bit of it, because you know we're gonna get a new area bonus right here. It might be a grade 3, or hell, it might even be a grade 4 to upgrade it for the new boss. And that will be painful. So definitely start saving your medals. And I'm just telling you that as someone who was not doing it till yesterday, okay? Save them, save them, save them. Do not put them in any other area, because that will be very important. It will make a massive difference to be able to ignore the defense, to get extra stats. One thing that I can tell you for sure is that the new boss will have insane stats requirements, okay? If you are kind of like looking at what they've done in the past, right? The clan boss has what, 180 or 190 speed on Ultra Nightmare, if I'm not mistaken. 250 accuracy will get the job done. Resistance 300 plus again, and you don't have to worry about it. Then if you go over to Hydra, on Nightmare difficulty, you need to have 250 plus speed if you want to counter the fastest head, basically. Or, of course, you can boost your Thermiter, increase speed, etc. You need around 350 plus accuracy to 400, and you need 500 resistance. So the difference is massive. Now, what I'm expecting with the new clan boss as well is most likely something that will put us at around that range, 250 plus speed and around 500 to 600 accuracy for Ultra Nightmare difficulty on the new boss. So it will be 100% very needy in terms of stats, right? I do hope that the rewards are something that will be worth the grind. Yes, it's fun to get a new champion. If the champion is OP, that makes it better, right? Everybody will want to play the game mode, at least till they get the champion. But once we are getting that champion, if they are not giving us some good rewards from this new clan boss, I feel like the majority of the players won't really be interested in it, won't really be interested to go through the pain of getting their team sorted, manualing most likely to get the best possible damage, etc., right? The good thing is that is not related to any clan versus clan competition to start with. So most likely, like they've done with Hydra, in the future, once they're gonna see that the activity is dropping, they will introduce some form of a clan versus clan, like the Hydra Clash or something like that. And it might be related to the new clan boss. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe they're never gonna do that, which most likely will be the best case scenario. Do not involve this into another Hydra Clash situation, right? Because that's the main thing that causes usually issues with all of these game modes, right? A new gear set won't really make me happy. Most likely, it won't really make you guys happy either. If we're talking about how long it took me to get Carnage as an endgame player, I think it was 5 months. 5 months, which means I had to complete 5 full rotations in the Curse series to get Carnage. If we're talking about how long it took me to get Mithrala, around 4 to 5 months as well. If we're talking about how long is going to take me to get Lamassu, right? That's a champion that I haven't collected yet, but I know there are some clans that won all of their sieges and they managed to get Lamassu. Probably, well, what do we have? We have 12 fragments per siege, right? So you need to win around 8 sieges, if I'm not mistaken, based on your tier as well. That matters too. So 8 plus or 8 to get her. I'm very close to it. I just don't have her yet, right? So most likely we are looking at this reward, this free mythical champion that we can all get, probably in approximately 5 months as a reward. And that's, of course, based on how often the new clan boss will drop the rewards. Maybe it's going to be earlier than 5 months. Maybe it's going to take us longer than 5 months to get him. And then, of course, I hope they are going to introduce books. I hope they are going to introduce more summons, primal shards, more soulstones, materials, resources that are lacking from other content, right? Yeah, it's cool to get a new mythical champion, but we need books to level up the champion. We need soulstones to get the soul for the champion. So that's pretty much all for this video, guys. I just wanted to share this with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Would a mythical champion be enough for you to engage with the new clan boss, even though it seems like a pain, like a challenge? I like a challenge, so I don't mind it. But I know a lot of you guys are more casual players. A lot of you guys don't really like to have super hard content in the game, right? So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As usual, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.